Hello YouTube, my name is the Aviator and today we're going to be taking a look at vPilot as I promised in the previous tutorial video. Now this tool, or application if you like, enables you to connect to VATSIM. Let me just quickly explain what VATSIM is. It's basically an online network for simmers and ATCers, so to speak, air traffic controllers. Um, that connects all these things together in a simulator. So you might be wondering, well, I'm just sitting behind my desk playing what else? Um, but on VATSIM, you have other people that are sitting behind the desk and controlling you. It really simulates the real air traffic control situation. And it's also the network that you see me flying at most of my videos and streams. I absolutely love it. But vPilot has made connecting to VATSIM so much easier ever since it was released, and I would like to show you today what it all contains, and hopefully you can, well, maybe take over something from it. Hopefully it's useful. Anyway, let's just start off with the settings, because that's of course the most important thing. Now I've got everything set up already, but I'll just talk you through everything. Now this section controls the notifications as it says at the top. This section allows you to tick or not to tick whether or not you want to have like a green bar, just like GSX does, at the top of your screen as soon as you receive a private message through vPilot on VATSIM, or for just a normal text radio message. Now I've got both of these turned off. These I just turned these off for my streams and videos. And this one is because it's really annoying to always get a green bar flashing at the top as soon as anyone transmits anything in text on the frequency. I don't want that, and I recommend turning this off. Although if you like it, you can just leave it on. Um, Cell call message. Yeah, I have this one because basically why not? The taskbar icon when disconnected from network. This basically means this one is turning orange as soon as vPilot disconnects from VATSIM somehow unexpectedly. Of course, if you do it yourself, it won't come up. Now, show incoming text messages in FSX. Well, I just guess this is sort of the same thing. But it does indeed the same thing, so I just turned this one off as well. Sound buzzer for push to talk while not on voice. Well, I just leave this by default because I don't use it. I have my push to talk set up perfectly fine with the microphone, so I always use the voice way of talking to ATC. So I'll just leave this by default. Now, this part you can automatically squawk mode Charlie on takeoff. I just leave that on. This is all by default. I don't know if this one is stick by default, but I like this because I use vPilot usually on my other monitor, and I don't want it to disappear. So if I, for example, run Chrome, I don't want vPilot to disappear so that I can't see my text messages anymore. So I just keep this ticked. But if I understand, if you just use one monitor, you want to untick this one. Check vPilot updates on channel stable. You can choose between stable and beta, which means it's gonna give you a notification when a new update is available. Now, for beta users, you always have the latest version if you tick this one. However, I like to use the stable version, so that is why. Check for model matching rule set updates. We'll come to the model matching rule sets later on. But this enables the automatic update. Well, I don't use any of the default model matching sets, but if you do, I suggest you just leave this on. I just left this by default. Now, in here, you insert your VATSIM account details. So this is my code, and this is my password, which you are not able to see, of course. Now, as soon as you sign up to VATSIM, you'll receive these with a custom password that you can't actually change. Just insert both of those into here with your full name and your home airport, which in my case is Amsterdam. Then select your server. Well, as I live in the Netherlands, the Europe Center is closest to me. But if you, for example, live in Romania or something, I don't know why, or or Norway, you can select one of these. Norway is for north, and this is for east, of course, Eastern Europe. Well, USA, Central, East, West. This all basically explains itself. So just select the server closest to where you live. I just left this by default. You can select all the fonts and so on. I just leave this as it is. I just left performance defaults as well. You can customize all of this. So if you've got quite a low-end PC, I would suggest you set this to about 50 and this to about 20. This controls the amount of aircraft and how far aircraft are actually displayed within your simulator. These aircraft are of course other people flying on the network. Okay, so let's then switch over to audio. Now this part is important. It's all blanked out by default. And you need to make sure everything is connected as you want it to be. Now, I always use my headphone and my microphone for this stuff. So basically, I just selected always select the wave mode. By the way, I just selected my microphone of my headphone. I don't know what this is in Dutch, by the way, but I just selected that microphone in wave mode. And for the output device, I also selected my headphone. Now, host telephone means headphone, just to make you aware of that. Also the wave mode, but you can also set this all to, for example, speakers or anything you got connected. Now, you can enable VHF simulation. VHF simulation is basically the simulation of the audio that you can actually hear on real ATC frequencies, which is like it's a bit unclear on VATSIM servers, because the VATSIM sound quality is by default quite bad already, so I just leave this off. But you can tick this for extra realism. Although, as I said, the voices sound already pretty VHF by default. You can set your push to talk here. If you push your push to talk button, vPilot then allows you to speak and transmit that over the frequency. Please don't speak while other people are speaking. Okay, now if you applied all of this, including the model matching, which we'll go to in a minute, you apply these settings and then you go back to the audio tab and you hit calibrate mic. Let's just go through that, and it's going to ask you to remain silent for 5 seconds so that it can measure the background noise level. So let's do that. There we go. It now measured my background noise level, and now we need to speak for about 5 seconds. So let's do, for example, Scribble delivery. This is KLM1341 requesting clearance to, well, anyway, you know what I mean. Squelch is, well, that is pretty high. It used to be 7, but maybe because I'm recording. Anyway, results are okay. It's automatically calculated everything. And your voice is...
Delivery, this is KLM1341 requesting...
There you could hear me. This is what it sounds like on the frequency. So now optimize your voice for that. Anyway, let's go over to model matching. This is probably the most important section within the whole program, especially for your simulator. This controls how aircraft are displayed. So if you connect to VATSIM, you will see all the other players on there. For example, if this one parked right there, we will be able to see it. And this section controls how things will be displayed. Now you need an add-on for your aircraft to be displayed all properly. You can set this by default if you use P3 or FSX. You can do that one as well. Now I don't use FSX, I use P3D, so I just set this to here. This basically, if you download this one and put it into there, and only that one, it will only display aircraft that are by default in P3D. So that means that if, for example, someone is flying a Cessna 182, it might be displayed as some other VFR plane within your simulator. And now I don't want that, of course. You can buy an add-on, for example, Ultimate Traffic 2. I can highly recommend that one. if you fly offline as well. Or my Traffic 6, for example. I don't really like their models, but I use IVAO, although it's removed from this list. I thought it was still allowed to be used in P3D, so that's fine. I just leave this by default. However, you cannot download it into here, into this section. So you manually have to run a VMR generator. A VMR is a model matching file. You need to find that on the internet, and well, the website you will find it on is actually pretty self-explaining. I'll leave the link in the description. Let me just write that down for you. Then, if you use, for example, World of AI, you need to download all those packages. Not one by one, you can just install the whole bunch of stuff. As soon as you've done so, you select all of these. World of AI is, by the way, free, so that's why I'm taking this one. So you download the selected rule sets. Here we go. Well, that takes a while. I'm gonna cancel it because I don't use it. And then it will be displayed somewhere around here, probably underneath P3D. Now you want to move your model sets, of which you have an add-on installed, all the way at the top. So you want to basically move all of these above P3D. Now I just use this one because so that means that my models are selected by IVAO's multi-traffic library. I want the model matching set for that one to be up. Otherwise it would only still display only P3D default aircrafts, as you understand. Now, as soon as you've got everything of this set up, run your simulator, and then run the model matching test. So, as you can see, if I start the test, it doesn't give me any warnings. It's gonna try this out at the top, by the way. You don't have to wait all the way down. If you just wait the first 100 rules, you don't get any notifications or red text showing up here. You just want to stop it and then it's fine. That means you have set it up all correctly. Let me just untick these. And that's all your settings ready to go, basically. You can always mode Charlie, and by default, that's fine. Okay, so let's now go through the flight plan section. This is where you can insert a flight plan. Now, I use BFPX for my flight planning, and I upload my flight plan straight away to VATSIM service, which is quite nice for me because I don't have to bother. I just have to say fetch from server if you do so. However, we can also manually put in a flight plan. For example, if we fly from Copenhagen to Amsterdam, like we sit here, the alternate airports, the departure time, well, you can just insert all of it. Make sure to set this around 430. That will be fine for a normal cruise speed with either the 737 or the 777. Select your cruise altitude here. You can insert it manually. Put your route into here. Probably if you use such rather complicated aircraft as I do. Select X-ray, sorry. Then these remarks I will put in through PFPX. You can just leave this section alone. Well, and if it is your first time on VATSIM, you can also put in the remarks newbie or something, or first time flying on VATSIM. Then the controller knows it's your first time, and he'll talk a bit calm to you and so on. He'll be very understanding. Now here you need to set whether or not you use voice. You can set receive only, which means if the ATC transmits something to you, you can understand it, you know what he says, and you answer it through text. You can also set text only. If you do so, the controller will type the transmission to you in the chat, and you will need to answer it through the chat. Now I always do this because I like to talk to ATC, which means I send and receive voice. Okay, so let's now connect to VATSIM. This is the easiest part. You just hit connect. You can forget about this section, by the way. You select your call sign, for example, KLM. I have no idea what the call sign is. Let's do 1234. This is the Boeing 737-800, which as a type code has B738. So 73800, 737-800. You know, you can find your type code on the internet probably somewhere. You can also connect in shared cockpit mode by ticking this one. This is very useful for abysses. If you're flying with two guys and you connect both to VATSIM, which you want of course, you just one of you guys just take this one, so that one of the guys can speak and the other one can observe. Otherwise, the ATC will see two aircraft at the same time, which is very annoying. So let's connect it. And here we are. You can see we're connected. Let's then open the flight plan again and file the flight plan. There you go. Now, if there's any ATC online in closer range, you will be able to see that right here. As you can see at this time, there's no ATC online anywhere near us. We're at Copenhagen, so it's pretty obvious that there's no ATC. However, you can then push the talk button if you tune into the right frequency, which you need to do, of course, within your simulator. Just select the right frequency, 122.8 is the Unicom. You always have to be in Unicom where you are not controlled by ATC. 122.8, keep that in mind. You can set your squawks here, by the way, which is very important. Don't forget to set it to TIRA as soon as you insert your correct squawk code. You want to make sure you have filed your flight plan, otherwise you are a bit screwed, of course. And that is basically you ready to go. The only thing that is left for you to do is to hit your push to talk button. See this one come up, although my yoke is not connected at the moment. You will see this one to brighten up, and that means you are talking and transmitting something to ATC. Okay guys, so I hope this has been a bit useful to you guys. As I said, if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up somehow, or just leave a comment in the section below if I forgot something, or if you have a question. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, please. It really encourages me to keep on doing all of this. Check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/theaviatorhd, and just stay tuned for more videos. Okay guys, from here, happy flying and see you in the next video.